Key point 1. Look at love as a skill and master it. You've already learned a lot about love from romantic comedies, books, and songs. Modern society's collective cultural experience has formed specific ideas about this feeling in your mind, even before you first fell in love. However, in this summary, you can look at the phenomenon of love differently, through the prism of the most ancient scriptures, the Hindu Vedas. Further, you'll discover the interpretation of the laws of love produced by monks more than 5,000 years ago. The ancient sagas considered love as a lifelong process that included 4 stages. Each one is like a school class the students must complete, with each providing essential lessons to help us move on. If we resist learning or miss lessons, we may have to repeat the class. That is, experience the same difficulties repeatedly until we arrive at the proper conclusion. A successful graduate of such a school is a person whose love is boundless, directed to the whole world and not dependent on one partner. Life is a school in which one learns to love. The 4 stages of love are: 1. A genuine acquaintance with yourself, an analysis of your trauma, goals, and desires. Here, you learn to be happy alone so you can later share the joy with another person. 2. Interaction with your loved one, where you learn to accept all your partner's features and risk showing yourself without armor. 3. Struggle with the trials you will surely encounter on the path of love. This lesson is about resolving conflicts and finding compromises in times of crisis. And 4. The realization that you are the source of love and learning to be sincerely kind to all living things. In our further journey together, you'll find tips on preparing your heart for love and its stages. Key point 2. Don't run away from yourself. Humans are social creatures. Many of us don't like being alone, and that's okay if it doesn't cause you to stay in a relationship that makes you unhappy. The fear and discomfort of being alone can push you into the arms of a partner you would not otherwise choose. You may feel that ending a relationship risks never finding love again. Yet this is how you get one step closer to it. Solitude is not a failure to love. It is the beginning of love. Jay Shetty. In one experiment, researchers tracked the heart rate of visitors at an art exhibition. They found that people who came alone experienced a more significant emotional response to works of art than those who came in pairs. These findings show that we are more attentive and receptive to the world and our feelings in solitude. That is why the time spent without company is incomparably valuable and fruitful. It can lead to creativity, new acquaintances, and skills. But most importantly, it allows you to make friends with the main person in your life, yourself. By spending time alone, you can monitor your reactions to everything happening, helping you focus on yourself without waiting for external approval or evaluation. This way, you'll be able to realize and formulate your values, sincere interests, and views to later broadcast them to your chosen one. Moreover, this will also allow you to introduce yourself to another person accurately and understand whether their inner world matches yours, saving you from ill-fitting partners. You don't need your other half to feel complete. You are already a whole person. Sometimes the most challenging thing is to live in harmony with oneself, to be kind and honest with yourself, to protect your well-being and defend your interests. As tempting as it is to drown out your voice in the din of others, you must learn to live with yourself before sharing your life with another person. Only then will you be able to give love not out of need and fear, but out of abundance and confidence. Further, you will see that your work to understand and love yourself will best guide you to accept your loved ones with all their imperfections. Key point 3. Being a reliable partner means justifying trust. When you begin a new romantic relationship, it goes through 4 phases. First, attraction. Second, dreams. Third, struggles and growth. And fourth, trust and reliability. First, someone arouses your interest and intrigues you. Then you start to get to know each other. At this stage, you may feel vulnerable because you're unsure if your potential partner will accept the real you. However, through this feeling, genuine, not imaginary, sympathy forms. Therefore, it's essential to represent yourself as honestly as possible. To bring your dreams of shared happiness closer to reality, you must negotiate rhythms of bonding that are comfortable for both of you, minimizing frustration due to your unspoken expectations. Make the intended frequency of your interaction transparent and discuss what you put into certain established expressions, such as "I love you." Do not be ashamed to talk about your emotional needs and set personal boundaries. During the struggle phase, it becomes evident that nothing highlights shortcomings and weaknesses like close relationships. You can see your differences and decide if you're ready to work to maintain this love. Whether you break up or stay together, you'll experience intense growth. If you overcome difficulties and save your relationship, you'll enter a stage of deep trust and reliability. These feelings arise when you're not afraid to be honest with each other and can carefully manage this honesty, meaning you don't allow yourself to use the vulnerability of a loved one against them. To give each other a sense of safety and security, you must ensure that your actions match your words while your words reach your intentions. Trust can be 1. Physical. You're comfortable being around your partner and feel their care. 2. Mental. You can calmly rely on their mind, respecting how they think. And 3. Emotional. You don't doubt that your partner is a good person who shares your values. As important as trust is in a relationship, it can crack due to mistakes that are simply inevitable, since we're only human. But that's the beauty of love. It's a conscious process. Love never reaches completion and goes through all stages repeatedly, deepening, crystallizing, and educating those who open their hearts to it. Key point 4. Forgive your past to protect your future. Your idea of love most likely formed in your childhood. It comes from your first experience of interacting with people close to you. The relationship between your parents often becomes the prototype imprinted on your subconscious mind. To not become a hostage of norms imposed on you from outside and to crystallize your own, you must deep dive into the past and put things in order on the dusty shelves of memories. Perhaps on this imaginary journey, you'll meet your first lover or people who once rejected you, and it will probably be painful. However, this reflection will allow you to love your real partner how they deserve, without prejudice, shame, or hidden resentment. Moreover, it will enable you to accept love with an open heart. When we learn from the past, we heal it. Jay Shetty. Don't focus too much on your parents' mistakes that caused your traumas. Instead, take responsibility for learning from them and minimizing the damage. If you make destructive relationship decisions because of unmet childhood needs, consider how to make up for and close that need. Treat yourself the way you would like others to treat you. Keep track of when you feel heard, valued, and loved, and cultivate those feelings. You are now the exact adult whose kindness and attention your inner child needs. Give it what it wants. No matter how traumatized you are not hopeless. Trust love. It will always find its way. Think about each of your past relationships with gratitude and forgiveness. Determine their exceptional value and what they brought to your personal development. Do not reduce the success of a connection to how long it lasted and devalue your past feelings just because they dried up. Even if your love is no longer relevant, this does not mean that it was not real at that moment. Treat with respect every person who once aroused love in you because these people were your teachers. Discover more about how we learn from each other below. Did you know the Japanese describe the premonition of falling in love with the words koi no yokan? Key point 5. Let your partner grow in their own way. Being a teacher to a loved one does not mean controlling their growth and expecting them to develop how you want them to. You must give your partner freedom, support them, and be sensitive to their difficulties on the way to achievements. However, don't try to give them direction. You are powerless to control the pace of their progress, so avoid shaming them for being slow and comparing them to other people. As a teacher, you must offer gentle accompaniment without judgment, ownership, or superiority. You will also learn in these relationships, so train yourself in genuine kindness and the ability to forgive and tolerate. If everything works correctly, you and your partner should constantly alternate the roles of teacher and student, and in doing so, you become better people. It's crucial that you fulfill your destiny without interfering with your growth, and that you don't lose your identity. You must deny your ego the desire to change the other person for you. You must help your partner become what they want, not what you want them to be. In close relationships, you become each other's mirror that reflects your worst and best features. If vulnerability and pride don't make you hide away, you can observe changes in yourself and your partner, gaining deep spiritual intimacy. Avoid neglecting your ambitions and dreams by dissolving into another person. Sacrifice leads to misunderstandings, an aggravating feeling of not being appreciated, and loneliness. On the contrary, the best thing you can give your partner is the opportunity to be in a relationship with the best version of you, a satisfied, fulfilled, and happy person. Your paths through life are very close to each other, so much so that you can hold hands, but one should not interrupt or violate the other. Then you can overcome obstacles such as envy, jealousy, and rivalry. You will be genuine friends and equal companions for each other. Did you know? According to statistics, men confess their love earlier than women. 40% of men do it in the first month of a relationship. Key point 6. Make the most of conflicts. You can only avoid quarrels in close relationships by excluding honesty when communicating with your partner. Fear of conflict can cause you to shut out the issues that bother you, hide your genuine emotions, and limit yourself to the manifestations of your personality. However, such a pretense will create a more significant gulf between you and your partner. On the contrary, arguments based on nonviolent communication will help both of you feel more comfortable and confident in the relationship, improve your mutual understanding, and strengthen your bond. Conflicts will be productive if you fight together against your joint problem. To take advantage of disagreements, find out how you behave in conflict. How you deal with quarrels depends on your character, upbringing, and habits. You may differ from your partner in your temper and the pace at which you process emotions. For example, you may want to discuss a problem as soon as it arises, while your partner needs to calm down, comprehend the situation, and formulate arguments. In this case, their distance amid a quarrel may mistakenly appear to you as indifference or a desire to punish you. Give your partner space and agree to continue when you're both ready, choosing the right moment and a quiet place in advance. A conflict is resolved when you and your partner have expressed your feelings and listened to each other. Each of you acknowledged your responsibility for the problem, and you asked each other for forgiveness. Ending arguments with an apology is a powerful tool for reconnecting and strengthening the bond with your partner. However, apologies are only effective if you formulate them and follow up with action. When apologizing, you must show your partner that you understand your fault. Then you must demonstrate this by making appropriate behavior changes. Nevertheless, there may be problems in your relationship that you and your partner cannot solve. Then you have a choice. Leave the issue as a neutral zone and learn to live with it, or end the relationship. Conclusion. As much as you want to avoid it, there comes a moment when it is no longer possible to fix the relationship, and it is time to think about a conscious and careful parting. The end of a serious relationship is a tragedy, so it's natural for you to grieve and mourn. You experience a complex mix of negative feelings, from broken illusions and disappointments to feelings of rejection and betrayal. At the same time, your ex is the only person you want and hope to find true comfort from. However, the one who is the source of your pain will not be able to heal you. You must realize that you do not end with your relationship. Your expectations, hopes, and shared dreams are crumbling. What you built with your partner disappears. But you, your soul and personality do not crush or evaporate. The love that fills your heart remains with you, and now you can redirect it. Do not worry. You have unlimited access to love, even when it is not focused on your partner. You don't have to look for it because you are the source of it. You can't lose what you create. By devoting yourself to caring for people and the world, you multiply love, as its true purpose is the service of beauty and kindness. Try this. Have a mental meeting with your 14-year-old self. Give yourself the approval, acceptance, and support you lacked. Recall what media products influenced your idea of love. Consider whether it is relevant for you and whether you have met such a model of love in your experiences. And keep a breakup diary to reflect and learn lessons for your future relationships.